with illustrations by Becky McCullough. This book is dedicated to my grandchildren, all of you. And there actually is another iteration of this book that has more grandchildren in it than what.
Yeah, that's right.
And what I'd like to do is do yet one more publication. So, life behind the stove in the great kitchen gave Marina a chance to practice her web weaving. Many of her sisters and brothers were working in other parts of the house, and they had to be careful not to be caught weaving their webs because Olga, the housekeeper, would strike at them with her great broom. But Marina had a safe place to stay. She was shy and very creative. She would swing from woodpile to woodbox, crossing over the webs and connecting them into patterns that made beautiful shapes. In the early spring, the housekeeper would come through with an army of people who were sweeping and washing and brushing and scrubbing. Marina and her family were very careful during those times because they knew that their work was appreciated when they caught other insects in their webs, but not appreciated when they would crawl into sight when there were people around. See that spider? You can see all of that. Now Charlie has a book, you can see that on his too. The summer was a wonderful time. The family would go to its dacha for long periods of time, and a busy spider could weave webs that caught the sunlight and the dew. Marina would weave her webs and then crawl over to look back at the intricate patterns and the beautiful colors reflected in the individual strings of that web. Marina was practicing a new pattern one day when she saw the cook's children looking at her. They were sitting very quietly, staring at Marina, swinging back and forth, spinning her web. The children, Michael and Katya, were good children, and they did not kill things just to be rid of them.
I think Marina might be the spider.
Yes, they watched and Marina performed for them. At the end of her web making, Marina walked off and went behind the stove to rest. Michael and Katya ran to get their mother to admire Marina's lovely gift of web. Mother was impressed with the beauty of Marina's web, but she knew that the children should not point out the web to anybody else. After all, Olga might overhear them and be compelled to sweep the web away. During the fall, the household got ready for many parties. The family loved to have dances and dinners. The cleaners and cooks were busy preparing for every event. Marina and her family were very careful to stay hidden from all the guests and do their job of keeping the insects away from the ballroom and the dining room. Marina worked very hard. She knew that the children watched her and kept her safe. Sometimes she could hear them say that Olga was on her way with her very big broom. Marina would hurry away then. As Christmas got closer, the children were their families had even more entertaining to do. They had a really big dance just before they left for their holiday. There was food everywhere that night. The band played and the servants worked very hard. The next morning, the family packed their sleighs and set off for the south. The cook was left with the leftovers for the party and some time to spend with her family in their home. They were very poor and had very little except what they could bring home from the big house. Michael and Katya were so happy that their mother would have some time with them and they would have a holiday together. They wanted to have a special Christmas with a decorated tree and everything, Their mother knew they couldn't decorate a tree with any special ornaments, but they could put some berries and cloth on the tree to try to brighten it up. Marina had ridden home with the children in a basket of food. She wanted to see where the children lived because she felt so safe with them. It was almost time for Marina to stop spinning her web for the winter, and she wanted to try one more time. She overheard the children and their mother talking about the Christmas tree and how it should be decorated. When everyone went to bed on Christmas Eve, like tonight, Marina got busy. All night long, she spun and wove intricate patterns back and forth, over and under, building the most beautiful webs she had ever displayed. Marina walked all night. She grew tired just before dawn and curled up in the corner of a branch near the trunk of the tree. When the children woke up Christmas morning, they came out to look at the tree. There was the most incredibly beautiful Christmas tree they had ever seen. The sun shone through the windows and the tree glistened with webs of such wonder that the children gasped. See them? Yes. They're gasping. They're looking at the tree, and you see the tree. There they are. They knew that Marina had been at work. They had watched her too long not to recognize her patterns and her skill. They didn't see Marina curled up in the corner, and she did not hear their praise. They were only happy that they had protected Marina from Olga and the broom. For today, they had beauty in their lives because they had kindness in their hearts.
This thing is over, man. Let's party.
So, to remember Marina,
That was over.
just a minute, and her gossamer gifts each year. Just a minute.
Sit down, Charles.
Sit down for a moment.
Marina.
The children hang webs on their tree. For the beauty in nature, we are surely thankful. Now, I want you to take one of these webs and hang it on our tree. And they have been made, and I want all of you to do this. So you just take one and put them, maybe you recognize your really big one, like Mary T and Adam.
Oh. Whoa.
Yes, that's one that they did.
You can hang up that one.
You can hang that.
Take
No,
both.
she said.
Just take that.